Hi, friends. Father Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life, bringing you my daily diary update for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, March 5th, 6th, and 7th of 2022. This weekend, I was not traveling. I was here in my office catching up on desk work from morning to night on all day Saturday and Sunday. Let me give you a little bit of a rundown of what that entailed. I was going through a lot of staff update reports, first of all, of their work in various departments, giving my guidance and input, arrangements for interviews coming up, both that I'm doing with others for our channel and that they are doing of me. Let's see, mass intentions from our donors. So when I do the broadcast mass, we're arranging for that, and also trip plans. A lot of work on that, looking at upcoming trips that are confirmed, making sure scheduling is on track. We have a whole department that takes care of that, and giving my approval to various plans for upcoming trips. Hopefully see some of you on the road. Approving different letters going out. For example, our appeal letters, I always approve those after our copywriting team goes over them. We have our fundraising team. They write the letters after I approve the general ideas, and then I always go over the final version. And then what we call the March plan, finalizing that, at a certain time each month, at the end of the previous month, the beginning of the new month. I go over in detail what has to be done that month, and I had to spend some time Saturday finalizing that plan for the month of March. Sunday, and also had the Mass, of course, Saturday morning, the televised Mass, and in the evening signed some cards for our donors and for bishops whose birthdays or ordination anniversaries are coming up. On Sunday, of course, the Lord's Day, a little extra time of prayer, rest, and reading. Election contacts also had to be followed up with information I gathered from some local, from some recent trips in that regard, and handing it over to our political outreach team. The 90-day reviews of some of our new staff members I had to sign off on, getting ready for the National Religious Broadcasters Convention, looking through the list of participants and leaders and presenters to see whom I have to connect with. That takes some time. I did that at my desk. Again, upcoming trips and the plans for those trips, looking over the details, approving some press releases that need to go out this week. These are time-sensitive things, and therefore I have no choice but to plow through some of these things. On Sunday, grieving prayer service, grieving the children we could not save. This is one of the themes that we talk about among pro-life sidewalk counselors, pregnancy center staff. What do we do about the children we could not save? And someone was asking about some of our suggestions for having a little prayer service to that effect in the pregnancy centers and in other settings. So I sent out some material about that. Instructions for our data department. I had to get some instructions ready for them. I've had to finalize some brochure revisions. Again, time sensitive. They have to go out on Monday. And also spent time, it's something I really very much like to do, signing books that we send out when people order my books. I always like to have my signature there on that book to show people my appreciation for their involvement in the pro-life effort. Then come Monday, the 7th of March, the day started out early as always with, did I mention the Mass on Sunday? Also the broadcast Mass, of course, I did in the morning. Monday, staff gathered, some of them coming in quite early, and I connected with them after having done the early Mass once again and taped it for broadcast. Morning administrative conversations, and then staff briefing. And right after that, met with several staff about different projects, and then went into the TV studio for a 9:30 taping of an interview with one of our state representatives here in Florida, a wonderful woman, Representative Erin Grahl, one of the key forces behind the recent bill that was passed and that Governor DeSantis will sign for protecting babies in the womb from 15 weeks forward. So I had an interview with her, and right after that, met with our studio team and did some other taping of some liturgical homily hints and other resources for our website, and went over with them some some issues regarding upgrades to the studio. We have our videographer here for a couple of days from New Jersey, Kurt, and he was meeting with us as well. After that meeting, I had about an hour-long travel meeting looking at upcoming trips. Also welcomed a couple here who are some of our donors visiting in Florida, and we also always welcome any of you that are in the area where our headquarters is. Priests for Life family are always welcome to stop in and see us. After that travel meeting, I had a quick lunch at noon, and then had a 12:30 meeting with our director of communications. And what we were talking about was, what are the various publications, whether printed papers, journals, magazines, or websites or blogs, that would accept articles from us. We're constantly sending out articles either from me or from Janet Morano or from other members of our pastoral team. And periodically we just in a very, very proactive way, research and reach out to those that might be willing to take our articles and publish them, but maybe that we have not spoken to about that before. That was followed by a 1 o'clock meeting with our political outreach department and our executive manager, talking about state legislation, keeping on top of state legislation and communicating with, and how best to respond to groups in those states that need our help, generating support for particular pro-life bills or opposition to particular pro-abortion bills. After that meeting, had some work at my desk before going in for the studio again at 2 o'clock for more taping, which lasted till about 3:30. I had to tape a number of programs for this week when I will be traveling. At that time, then I met with some other staff members and had to meet with our reception department. You know, every once in a while, I give them some guidance and I check on making sure that they are collecting data in the necessary way as people contact us for various questions. Did some more work at my desk, met with our social media director at 5 o'clock, with our finance director at 5:30. As I was meeting with her, I was taking my daily walk. It's nice here in Florida as the sun is setting. I find that the best time for exercise, and I walk about a half hour each day, and that is certainly good time for not only exercise, but making some phone calls, and of course, just for thinking and pondering about the work of the day and the work of the next day. Came in, had some dinner, did some quiet work in the evening, went to bed early. That was the day on Monday the 7th. So that's my daily diary for these 3 days, 5, 6, and 7 of March. Like to be fully transparent and accountable to you. We are using to the maximum the resources we have, including the precious resource of time, for the service of the kingdom of God and the protection of the unborn. Thanks for supporting us in doing exactly that. Talk to you soon.